Hey everyone, it's Carissa, and I wanted to introduce you to the Guide to Basic Metrics PDF, downloadable, whatever you want to call it, ebook. It's not really an ebook, but basically, I took all of the findings that I had within the Basic Metrics series newsletter, as well as LinkedIn posts, Twitter posts, and wanted to get them in all one document. It does show all of my pairings. It also has more like reflective questions and kind of workbooky like questions to ask yourself when you're actually using these metrics. So definitely take a look. I really just want to try to get as many people to see this as possible, and like no, obviously no strings attached. Like if you want to sign up for the newsletter in order to get it and then unsubscribe, that's totally fine. I just think it's really important to get this into as many help center knowledge base owners, managers, stakeholders as possible, because it really just helps you feel an ownership of the overall health of your documentation. So let's just do a really quick run through just so you can have an idea of what it looks like. So we go through all of the basic five metrics that I covered. So session and views, active users, average engagement, custom events, and user retention. And I included the pairings. So in my posts, you would see a few. So this is just an example of going over sessions and views. I would do some pairing. So I would take the session of views and pair it with another metric. So for example, if you want to look at most popular content, you would pair session views with average engagement time, or session views with events tickets submitted. So it does cover pairings for session views as well as active users, but some of the actual sections have more of like a reflective pairing, right? So I do mention, okay, you're going to pair active users with reflective questions. So it's not necessarily a metric that you can collect, but more of you take a look at the active users that you have and you can ask yourself these questions in order to define what is the most important content for a user, or define your strategy or spot trends and pain points, right? So really digging deep into the numbers that you're seeing to paint a picture, understand the story behind them, and why our users are doing what they're doing. But most importantly, we do have a big section on custom events, as well as some additional resources that you can reach out to, watch in particular, to get an understanding of how to set up custom events, because custom events are typically seen as really difficult. So I wanted to make sure to have a really big section about this and submit and add to the pairings. Those are the most important. Again, not always necessarily pairing with an event itself or pairing with a different metric, but also a concept, right? So you want to pair your events with experimental testing of layouts or experimentation in general, in order to get the most out of that metric. Last but not least, we do have user retention, and user retention is something typically that we would see mainly aligned with a product team, somebody who's testing out your tool or product, right? But you never really see it with content, for retention of content. And so it's a lot of explanation about why you would want to use user retention for your content, and different ways to use it throughout the entire user lifecycle, because retention is usually like once the person's fully onboarded. But what other ways can you use it within the content? That's pretty much it. There is a lot more. Obviously, I just skimmed through it just so you have a little sneak peek of what's actually there. Um, I tried to make it as easy as possible for understand, but if you do have any questions, do feel free to reach out and I can definitely chat with you about that. Also, like I said, this isn't a reason why I'm trying to push people to sign up for newsletters. You definitely should. But even if you just want this, feel free to sign up for the newsletter and then unsubscribe. Right? These type of pairings and these type of metrics are just so important for the health of your help center and knowledge base. It's so important for the success of your help center knowledge base. So as many people that can get a hold of it is just incredible. Let me know what you think.